Well, hello everybody. I'm a little bit early, so we shall see what happens. Oh, blimey. Hi Brenda, hi Jules. Blimey, everybody's on here earlier than me tonight. My goodness. I hope everybody's well. I just need somebody to let me know that Facebook's working and we're good to go. So how's everybody been doing? What have you been up to in the last couple of weeks? We had a crazy couple of weeks. Back at work, so to speak. Well, I say back at work. We never stop working, but we've started back at the shows last weekend. So we were down in Somerset, which was lovely. It's nice to get back out and about and see people again. Let's see. Nobody's commented on Facebook yet. So YouTube, good. And if you can just let me know about the Facebook, then we're good to go. And then we had TV. TV was just mind-blowing how TV went. We more than doubled the stock. Thank you, Martin. We more than doubled the stock, gave TV, and we still ran out. So I will mention this now, but I will mention it a little bit further along. Hi, Eileen. It's always lovely to see you. Hi, Tina. Yes, so Carol, you're on Facebook. Thank you. Hi, Kathy. So as I said, TV was bonkers. Hopefully we've got most of the orders out now. There's just a couple outstanding for a couple of bits, but we are just about there. So we said once they were gone, they were gone. The balloons have sold out so fast. They sold out with ridiculously quick. So the balloons are now available on pre-order. We are bringing them back for one more visit. Well done, Dawn. Haven't had time for dinner yet. That'll be after Facebook Live for us. So just to pre-warn you, you can go on Evening Amanda and pre-order the balloons die if you missed it. I haven't got it here because we didn't know until later this evening that when we were going to be doing it. So it will be, hi Carol, hi Heather. It will be probably 2 to 3 weeks before they arrive, probably nearer 3 weeks. But if you want to, I think we've put them on for 3-week delivery on pre-order on our website. But if you want to book that, then you need to be quick, because again, this will be the last time they come. We are down to very limited numbers on all the flower dyes as well. They won't be coming back because we've got so much new stuff coming in that I actually don't know how I'm going to have time to get everything in. You've had a play with the new dyes, Carol, and have you enjoyed playing with the new dyes, Carol? That's the most important thing. I've just realised I've got a cable hanging across us here. So, right, so tonight we may or may not get 2 demos in. It just depends. Hi, Sue. It just depends how things go. So, what's the best way to do this? I tell you what, if I do that, how does that come? Yes, that's what we will do to start with. So I mentioned the flower dyes. Let me take that off there. So this is the board that we had on TV that Mum had done with all the flowers. So just to give you an idea of some of the stuff you can do with the flowers, I thought I'd bring this on here for you to have a look at. Hi, Helen. Helen, has your new goodies arrived yet? Can you just let me know? That'd be lovely. So this one is the vintage flowers, and this one is Little Lilies and Leaves. Then we have Starry Eye and Trio. Now both cards, if we get to 2 today, are going to be done with the Trio. Evening, Pat. Amanda, you might need to. The next lot is 5 new stamps and 4 new stencils of our next TV show. So yeah, it's getting busy. Right, I'm going to flip off that for a moment. Come back to me. Lucky you. So we've got a few different bits to show on here today. Martin's been playing about with our system that does this. So let's see how we do this. We are there. Oh, that didn't come up. Right, so if you can see which side, no, that side, I knew I'd get that wrong. We have a QR code here. You can scan this QR code with your camera on your phone as I'm going along, and I'll keep it up there, and that will take you directly to our website. So hopefully that will make sense to those of you. Look, I've got very focal, so if I do this, I don't have to tip my head to read what I'm doing. So I'm going to hold my fingers up here and hold my glasses up to be able to see what you're all saying to me. Hi, Mum. So we are going to have a quick look firstly at these. So that needs to come off again. We'll get there. Hi, Carol. Well, at least they've arrived and you're enjoying using them, Helen. Hopefully. I think they should be up your street because there's lots of colouring. Not that I'm telling anybody anything. Right, so we have got trio of flowers to start with. So you get the 6 dies, the 3 flowers and 3 leaves in the different sizes. And like I mentioned on our TV show and on our last, when we released these on our last Facebook Live, they are pink. And then we have little lilies and leaves. So again, with this one, you get 7 dies. So you've got the 3 flowers and the 4 different sizes of foliage. Next, we have vintage flowers. Hi, Michelle. So this is vintage flowers. So again, you get the 3 different sizes of flowers. And with this one, you get 6 different sizes of foliage. Hi, Dawn. And last but not least, we have Starry Eye. And again, with this one, you get the 3 different sizes of flowers and 3 different sizes of foliage. Right, we will flip now round to what we're using. So today, as I mentioned, we are going to be using trio flowers. So this is the die we're using. And then the new dies all come in a little pocket that's sealed at the top. And tucked inside, you've got your little bag of dies. They are all cut ready. They're not in big sheets, so you don't have to snip them away yourself. Hi, Jill. We are going to go back to one of, I say our oldies, but then none of them are old, really. One of our older stencils and mask sets. So this is the bold brushstrokes. So you get the stencil and you get the 2 negatives with the masks. Or the pluses, whatever you want to call it. So with this one though, you only get this piece here. These are just too small to be able to use as a mask. So you get this section in the middle here, as you can see, because this one's come out. And then if we get to the second card, we will be using our squares and rectangles stencil. We're obviously using our super smooth white cardstock, which comes in 250 or 300 GSM. And our black cardstock that comes in 270 GSM and 120 GSM. And even with all my redos in here, I still haven't got anywhere to put all the products as I'm showing them to you. So we'll make that space while I'm talking to you. And then I'll be able to reach them again. Then we've got our glues, which come in the 2 sizes, the 120 or the 30mm. Blending brushes. At the moment, we only have the larger ones in stock. The smaller ones will be back in, the medium ones will be back in stock in the near future. But at the moment, we just have the large available. Evening, Carol and Sophia, she's with you. We may or may not use our crystal clear embossing powder, anti-static bag, and the Versafine in Onyx Black. And then colours. The main card we're doing today will be using Peacock Feathers, Fossilized Amber, Twisted Citron, Picked Raspberry and Kitsch Flamingo. If we get to the second card, we will also be using Shaded Lilac, Dusty Concord and Seedless Preserve. These are my used ones, so they're not standing to attention and beautifully perfect. But hopefully, I'll stack those all up and we're going to need those now. So we'll unstack them again. And I'll put these ones off to one side and take the lids off here. Now, you all know that every time I try and do the measurements for our cards, I get it wrong and have to redo it, retell you every time. So, Carol, did your goodies arrive? Hopefully they have. So Martin's got me under control here. So our measurements today, check me out. Or Martin. So we've got an 8x8 card blank. we have got black cardstock in 7 3/4 inch square and white cardstock in 7.5. And then we've got scrap pieces to cut our dies out with. We may or may not get to those. I may or may not have already cut them. We will see. We'll see how time goes. So that's the first card. I will give you the measurements for the second card if we get to that point. But for those of you that missed it, you've got my arm in there, that's not very nice. Normal measurements. I know, Amanda, I did that special just for you. So I'm going to come back to this screen. Hopefully we are... Oh, okie dokie. So maybe do that and take that off. There we go. Right, we have come back into focus. I'm hoping I've got this in the right place so that you will see everything, because apparently last time... I'm hoping I'm remembering everything, Martin. Fingers crossed. So yeah, we've got... No problem, Carol. So long as they've arrived, that's all I needed to know. Fingers crossed. On the last video, I think I cut most of the card off. So we are going to be using our fabulous measuring board. Now I'm going to take the ruler off tonight. I don't need the ruler. We've got a few little bits and pieces that we're going to be doing, and that will just get in my way. So we are going with our white cardstock. The black just needs to be stuck down. It's entirely up to you if you want to do it ahead of time or right now. That's up to you. I'm going to just stick mine down now so it's done. And then it's one less piece for me to lose, because if you could see my desk, it looks really nice and clean and tidy. Your side of the camera, but all the way around the edge. Maybe not quite so. I'm trying to work out what I'm teaching on our workshops as well that we've got coming up. So it gets a bit chaotic at this time of year. Move that along a little bit. Talking of our workshops, we have got a couple of places. One lady has had to pull out in our Newmarket, where did that come from? Our Newcastle workshop, Sue. So hopefully, if we can fill that place up. I know it's only a month away, Amanda, no pressure. And we have also got one place come available at our Ruffin workshop. See, look, I'm still cutting it off. Hopefully we're back on there now. So I'm just going to open my brushes, so we've got those. I am also using a sentiment stamp set, but I didn't have a nice pretty one to show you. It is just sentiments. It's called sentiments for this one. Where's the nearest workshop to Worcester? Probably our Coventry one, Jill. That one, I believe, is full at the moment, but if you are interested and want to go on the waiting list, give me a quick shout via email and I can add you to that waiting list if you would like to. That's probably the closest, I think, for you. Mum, if you're watching, can you turn me down a little bit? Because I'm getting an echo up here. Right, so I mentioned that I was going to be using the squares on this board, and that's why I took the ruler off. You don't have to. It just makes what I'm going to be doing a little bit easier. As I say, you don't have to. But I wanted all of what I'm doing to stay on the same level. The gaps in between didn't bother me, but I wanted them to be at the same height. And it will make sense in a minute. So there we go. So roughly in the middle. Again, doesn't matter if it's not perfectly in the middle. And then I have gone... So these are inch squares on here, and I've gone 1/4 inch up, and that's roughly where I want that to sit. So I'm just going to put a couple of magnets on there. Now, obviously, oh, before I do that, I'm just going to show you. I have taped off on the back with, it's called Post It on a Roll, but I think it's now called something about a relabel or something like that tape. It's just yellow on my one, but I think it's now white. And I just got it off Amazon. It was like posted on a roll. It's sticky all the way through, but it's not really super sticky. And I use this so much. I'm still going through the supply I had. So rather than trying to mask this off every time, because I'm going to be redoing this a few times, I just stuck that on the back and it will just remain there until I don't want it to be there anymore. But that just covers up those parts of the stencil. I want to make sure that I don't get any ink on the white. So again, my usual trick, I'm going to go in with some kitchen paper. And just to cover up those bits of white card that I'm showing. It's nice to go back to using some of our other stencils as well, because you forget. We're bringing out new stuff all the time and keeping up and reusing everything we've got all the time as well. So I know lots of you have already got this, so you don't want to forget that you've got to use up everything. Everything we've got all works together. So we'll come back to cutting flowers in a minute, because I figured we'd get all the inky bit out of the way and then we'd cut the flowers out. That was my idea anyway, although you can probably tell I've got them cut anyway. So we are just taking the blending brush. Now remember, go back into when we first launched this. This has got lots of little flappy up bits on there. So when you're working with this particular stencil, and we had somebody ask me about this at the weekend, work with the stencil flappy up bits. Don't try and go around in circles or go left to right. They will move, they will bend. You don't want them to do that. So load my brush up with ink, and I'm literally doing it like a brush stroke. When I get nearer the bottom, I'm going to come up from the bottom. But although there's pressure on there, I'm not overworking it, because I quite like the fact that it will be lighter. So literally work with your stencil. Depending how you do this, if it's all in the same colour, which it can quite happily be, you don't need to clean this off each time. I am going to clean it off, and I'm going to give you in case you've missed it. This is how I clean my stencils. I have literally got a piece of kitchen paper and my rag, and I'm just lightly with this stencil wiping over it. I'm not forcing anything. How can you have missed us, Marianne? We'll forgive you this once. So in case, for those of you that missed it, no, I got that right. Look, up here, we've got a QR code, and you can scan that with the camera on your phone, and then a little, our website will come up in yellow underneath or on your screen. Just tap that and it takes you straight to your website, to our website, if there's something you're after. Right, so I'm going back into exactly the same place I was in. That helps me if I want the gaps to be the same. Otherwise I can come down here. It makes no difference. But if I want the gaps to be the same, I'm going to work with this on the same line, and it keeps it in the camera for you guys. Lining that up with the thicker line, and then I'm going up to that 1/2 inch, roughly, probably I might take it to about 1/4 inch over ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter if the gaps aren't the same. And again, just blocking off that white card so that you don't brush over it, so to speak. You don't want to be brushing over anything. We will cover that section and then come across here and just pop these in. It's a little bit fiddly to do this as you're going along, but that's part of making cards, isn't it? You don't have to do everything that's like takes 2 seconds to do and you're done. It's nice to have some time. So Fossilized Amber I'm going in with next. Yeah. You're not going to watch me do all the colours. I have already got this done. The other thing I need to ask you all to do, ladies and gents, is if you don't mind liking and sharing our pages, that would be very much appreciated. And again, just take that away. And again, if you wanted to position it roughly where you want them to be and just carry on with the same colours, because you can repeat the colours, or I will be repeating the colours, you wouldn't have to keep cleaning it off. But because I'm just showing you this, I'm just going to go in with one more colour, and then I will bring out the one that I've already made. So I'm going to, again, back into the same place on here. And position my stencil about there and up 1/4 of an inch. Hold that down. We'll go in to hide the white. Now I know this pretty much covers it, the stencil pretty much covers it, but there are some little holes in here for paint splats that I don't want to go through, so because I want this to be a real clean lined finish. And then this side we're going to do the same thing. And that just protects that cardstock. Well, it wouldn't be me if we didn't go in with pink next, would it? Right, let's answer this question. See, there we go. I've heard you started card making while off work ill. Did you ever think you'd end up with such a successful business? Jill, not in a million years. Not in a million years. So the story goes that I was signed off work sick from the Ministry of Defence with stress in personnel. And I had 2 weeks off and I was going stark raving mad watching daytime TV, and my mum had just started making cards. Till then I was sort of cross-stitch and that kind of thing. And so I started, and believe it or not, Create and Craft had just started right back then. So we're talking 20 years ago. And so I started making cards with Mum. And when I went back into work, I took them with me to show the girls in the office what I'd been doing. And I came back with an empty box, and that's how it all started. So there you go. No, Jill, thank you for asking that question. Not in a million years did I think I would be here. And I certainly didn't think I would ever be doing anything like this. Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives and videos and TV. Never in a million years. So there you go. That's the answer to that one. So as I said, I would just keep building this up. And when I am finished, this is what I have come up with. So it's just a few random colours. Nothing in. All I wanted was that they were in the same level. If you don't want them to be in the same level, it doesn't matter. If you want them completely random, it doesn't matter. This is your card. But that's how I wanted it to be, because that's me. So I'm just going to clean that off, because you know otherwise I'll put something on the top of that and be really not mad with myself. And I just keep this till I've worn it through, and then I get the next bit. But it works really well, because otherwise if you're cleaning a stencil, it oozes under the stencil with the water, and then you pick it up and you flip it over, and then so you spend your life cleaning stencils for ages. So that little idea really works to make that a bit quicker. So that is the base card. This is 7.5 inch square, and I'm just going to put this back together so I don't lose all the bits, and we will get started. Was it the dream? Yeah, it probably was the dream, Jill. But I didn't expect to get there. And it's really nice that so many of you enjoy the products that I come up with, or that we come up with, should I say, that we can do that and we can make it as big or as little as we want it to be. The one thing I've always said, though, is that I would never, ever let my business get to the point where I had to employ more staff than us. Because I like the fact that it's just us and we can come and go and do what we want when we want, and not have to worry about staff. So we will, and when it's your baby, you give it the, I look after it. I hope I look after everybody well. And everybody enjoys our products, and we can give the customer service that we want to provide. And that's a big thing for me. Customer service is a huge thing for me. So I'm hoping that we managed to do that for everybody. So we are going to cut some bits out. Now, I've got this tiny little machine that I've had for ages. It's a bit sad now, but I'm going to tell you, this is only, we've had it probably 5 or 6 years. This is only the second set of plates I've ever bought. And I know they look worn and what have you, but they still work perfectly well. And I love this little machine for these, for the little dies. The card later, if I get to it, would require a bigger machine, but it doesn't for this. So I'm just going to stick. Now, I don't know if you watched our TV show, I said flat to the mat. And that's what I've always worked with, which means with my bigger machines, I can keep one mat completely clean. So you don't get the, sometimes when you've cut on it loads of times, the cutting can show through on your cardstock. So I always do flat to the mat. That way the image that's going to be showing, that you're going to see, all that detail that may come off when it goes through the machine, i.e. all of this that may show on the card, will show on the back, not on the front piece that you're going to be displaying, if that makes sense. Hopefully it will. I'll show you in a minute. Thank you, Amanda. Hopefully we do that. We try. I always put my dies through a couple of times. I don't know why people don't. You don't have to. It's just what I do. And they will cut it out every time. Cuts out our design. Now remember, this is quite an intricate design in the middle here. The petals are very close to the center, and a couple of them are thin, but I wanted that so you didn't have to fussy cut. Hi Linda. All good here, thank you. I hope you are too. We worked really hard. We have a new company that we're working with, Tina. Let me put this one up so that people know what I'm answering. Yeah, so we've got a new company that we're working with, and they're fabulous. And we can have them in pink, which we couldn't have before, which is great. Kathy, you've ordered the we'll finish with Tina first. Details on the, and yeah, thank you, Tina. We have really tried, and if I show you here, so where this was a stamp, wherever the lines were that you printed out, the detail is there now. So it's just it's just cut through so that you've got the detail on there, which is where you would have had your stamped image. Hope that makes sense. Pop this off. I have cut all the others out. I just wanted to show you that that's the detail that you're going to get by cutting these particular dies out. And if you want to, this is a tumble dry sheet, and that's all I do is I'll rub, and I do it with every die I own, rub it over with a tumble dry sheet, and it just helps it release quicker. If you haven't got one, it doesn't matter. It also helps if you are embossing with stencils, it stops the static. Kathy, thank you for that. I will keep your order until they're both in stock. Oh, Kathy's put a comment on here that says she's having an operation on Wednesday to take the metal out of her leg because she broke her leg a little while back. So Kathy, I hope it goes well for you. I am going to now stick this one on here again because it means it's out of my way. So we'll just stick this down, and I'm just sticking it down flat. I'm trying to work on the top here, but I'm not sure how successful I'm being at keeping it in the camera shot, but I'm trying. So that's the base of our card, and it's got 1/4 of an inch roughly all the way around. No, less than that, 1/8 of an inch, because you've got 7.5 and 7 3/4 for your black. So I have already cut these flowers out, but obviously I want and made them up. I have put, that's one thing I was going to ask. So Amanda has asked, do I colour the flowers before or after die cutting? I think you're sitting on my shoulder, Amanda, because I was just about to answer that question. I tend to colour mine afterwards because I use my offcuts of cardstock. If I know I'm going to do the same colour in everything, so this piece is just a piece that's left over from when I've cut my card pieces down. So A4 sheets cut down, I keep all those little extra pieces and they're great for this. So mine I tend to cut out in white unless I'm using pattern paper and colour them myself. If I was doing the whole sheet and I wanted them all to be the same colour, I may well colour the whole sheet first and do it that way. But I actually quite like a little bit of different texture and shading. I'm in your head. I think you are sometimes, Amanda, because we seem to kind of do the same thing, don't we? You asked me something and I've answered it. Right, so this time I'm going to colour it in, but as I say, you could do the whole sheet. But quite often, particularly with my little machine, on that size piece, I would get all of my dies on there. So I would get the 3 flowers and the 3 leaves. So by colouring them individually, I can just cut it through on one pass. So hopefully that answers your question. So take my blending brush. I am holding the petals. Let me just whip that off there again. Hopefully it's going to come off. No, that's where I need to hit it. There we go. So I'm holding the petals with my fingers. As I said, if you weren't holding that, you're asking a lot of a little piece of card, if that makes sense. So you can't be precious on worrying about having inky fingers, because you will get inky fingers if you're going to do this. Mine were green earlier because I did all the leaves. Hi, Lynn. Your dies hopefully have arrived by now, have they not, Lynn? Fingers crossed. It was a bit bonkers, that last TV show. As I said, we gave more than double the stock that we normally do, and it's still sold out. So if you have missed me, my comments earlier, they're just rude, Susan. Just tell them you're busy watching YouTube or Facebook, whichever one it is. I'm sure you can go back and watch it. In case you didn't realise, you can go back and watch all of these. We do download them, so you can go back and watch all of them back. And also our TV shows are all on our catch-up as well, or on our YouTube channel, so you can see everything that we've done. So if you've missed it, or you can't get Hobby Maker or whatever, it's all available on our website. So I wonder if I can just come in just a tad for a few minutes. Don't ignore them. Yeah, you can do that too. That is an option. So I've got my kebab stick, and with this one, I'm holding that petal. You can see how I've got hold of that petal, and I'm just pulling it like I would do if I was curling ribbon. And this one is a particularly flimsy petal. If you're not careful, you could easily pull that one off, but it's to get that detail in there, and so that you didn't have to snip into the middle. We had to make that piece a little bit narrower. And then just with my fingernail on that circle, I'm just going to flip those up and then pop it in my hand, give it a poke and a wiggle. We'll zoom out of that because that's making my hand look old. Maybe go a little bit further out than that. I think we're about there. Hi, Annie. And that's what we will end up with. Now you're going to do that 3 times, stick them together, and you'll end up with a lovely flower, and I pop the gem in the middle. So this is 3 layers. And if for some reason one of your petals did come off, just stick it in. It doesn't matter. So I've done 3 layers, and I've done 3 layers on the 3 different sizes, and I've done the smaller one in the slightly lighter pink. Just clear this mess away here. Right, and with the leaves, I have already coloured them all, so I'm going to find one that I wasn't thinking when I was colouring them. So I've got my leaves, and they start out nice and flat, and then I've taken my ink and holding it, this is why I had green fingers, hold the pieces, because with this trio you've got some wiggle room here. This piece is separated, So I hold the two pieces together on between my thumb and my index finger. No, my pointing finger, index finger. Yeah. And I'm literally just inking that round my finger. Spin it round and do the same going the other way. And that will give us the inky colour and the curl. So that's just a little cheat. Oh no, Lynn, that's not good. Sorry, I've just seen that fly through there. I missed that comment. Hope you're feeling better. Hope it's nothing too scary. Right, so back to our card. Roughly where I want to position them is going to be about here. And then I'm going to pop this one down the bottom. I'm just going to pop these on here in my mind so that in my mind's eye I have a rough idea where they're going to sit. And then I am going to pop a sentiment on there. So I'm just building the leaves up. You can use as many or as little as you want. That is your choice. And then our little ones will go down the bottom here. I didn't want the sentiment to be dimensional. I wanted it to be flat because I just think it will work better with this design. So we're going to be roughly there or thereabouts. I might move this one up a little bit. So I'm thinking my sentiment needs to sit along here. And if you can see, there is a little bit that juts out on this particular part of the stencil. So that's where I'm going to position it. Oh, Amanda, that's not good. An awful day. Hopefully nothing too bad. I think this time of year, everybody's a bit fed up. And if you don't know, Amanda works in a school. So I'm sure it can be quite stressful. They must be coming up for half term already. Where has that time gone? So we are going to take our ink. I'm going to pop my anti-static across the middle there. I'm living on a prayer and hoping that this is going to stamp out beautifully first time. I'm actually going to stand up because I'm a bit low in this chair to do this. So we will stand up to stamp this. I'm going to make sure it's, because I hadn't inked this up earlier, I want to make sure we've got plenty of ink on there. So position this and then we will fit the flowers around it. I think that's the best way. Hopefully we're straight. If we're not, so one more week to go. That is the problem, isn't it? It's hard. Kids get tired from school. I'd get tired from school. I did get tired from school. Got very fed up with school. Right, so we've stamped that out. I'm not going to emboss it, I don't think, because I've stuck it down. If I hadn't stuck it down, I probably would emboss it. So that's up to you, whether you do or you don't. Put that back out of the way. Right, so that's our sentiment on there. Happy birthday. So that's from our sentiments set. Mine is very well loved, but I'm happy to show it to you. So you get happy birthday. Hope this year is your best one yet. Hope you have a fabulous day. Celebrate your day. Make a wish and birthday wishes on there. So that's all our bits and pieces there. And we're now going to stick our flower on. I have no idea how long. Blimey, 40 minutes I've been waffling already. So if you missed me say earlier, up here, you can scan that and it will take you directly to our website, which is a new thing that Martin's done for us. Bless him. Scan the QR code with your phone, click the yellow link that comes up and it will take you to our website. I had that lower down earlier and it's not going to fit around that, so we will adjust. And then I'm going to pop that one down there. So once the flowers are down, then I will tuck the petals, or sorry, the leaves in there. Oh, I should have done that, Mum, shouldn't I? Yeah, Mum's right. You could emboss them. So you could cut them out and then emboss them, or you can emboss them and then cut them out. As in dry embossing through a die cut machine with a stencil or an embossing folder or something like that. Whatever you have. Good question, Jill. You're full of them tonight. How come you always use a stamping block and not a platform? I'd be chucking those out if I had no platform to restamp with. So that's a tricky one for me. I don't ever use stamping platforms because I would be in the same boat as you are with a stamping platform, because I kept throwing stuff out. My mum lives and dies by her stamping platform all the time, and I know they are brilliant for some people can't do it without. Obviously you're one of them. I much prefer to stamp without, and that's just, I think, because that's how I've always done it. Stamping presses are brilliant if you are struggling, and they are definitely worth their weight in gold if that is your case. But I've just never got on with them myself. There are some fabulous ones out there. There are some great ones available, and if that's how you manage to do it and you can stamp, which opens a whole different world to people, then go for it. But they're just not for me. As I say, I would be doing the same thing that you do with, if I had a stamping press, I would be throwing so much cardstock out. Occasionally I stamp it wrong, usually when I'm live on TV, but that's why. Yeah, you can emboss a piece of cardstock and then die cut your flowers out, or you can die cut your flowers and then emboss it. Bear in mind though, if you do it first and then die cut it, your embossing will not be as prominent, because obviously if it goes back through a die cut machine, it will flatten them down a little bit. But you can definitely put it through afterwards. And if I can manage to with time, I might try and show you. If not, maybe we'll do that on our next live. Although our next live will be showing you the new releases. Let me just whip that off there. There we go. So all I've done so far is pop some leaves in there. And I'm just putting the little ones in now. And then we've just got the inside to work on. So whichever you want, Carol, you can do it either way around. But just bear in mind that if you're using embossing before you die cut, it won't be as prominent. But it is nice to add some patterns to it. Plain paper and just an embossed flower is really cute too. No colour. Oh, that one got away from me. So that's the outside of our card done. So you can see that all that detail on that flower shows through where it would have been a stamped image on there. So I'm just going to pop something on the inside. Now you can use your stencil, or you can do what I'm about to do, and that is take your flower and use it like a mask, just to take in a little bit of that. I think I've gone off the screen there. I'll go back in there and take in some of that detail on this side too. And we will go up a little bit as well. Just to add a little bit of interest inside. I love to add the interest on the inside of a card as well. I think it just takes it from being a standard handmade card to being one that you've really thought about. And maybe go in with one of the smaller ones in a slightly different colour. I am am only using the ink that's left on the brush for this one, because it's obviously a very bright colour if I went in with Mermaid Lagoon all the way. So we've just taken a small amount of that colour and added that in there. In fact, not the C word yet. No, not the C word yet, Carol. Although we've got lots in my head for Christmas this year. I think I'm going to take a bit more pink in there. I'm not sure I'm liking that blue as much. There, I think I prefer that. Okay. Jill, thank you very much for saying that. There are a few that have suddenly started doing the insides of their cards. I think for the first time in my life recently, I seem to have become a bit of a trendsetter. I've never been a trendsetter any time in my life, but I seem to be at the moment. A few times I do catch a few things that come up from other companies. I could almost record myself and put it on there because they're saying what I'm saying and how I'm doing what I'm doing, which is, I should take as a compliment, I suppose, which is that's how I'm going to do it. Take it as a compliment. So that's that card done. I'm going to do the other card, but I'm going to kind of whiz through it a little bit. I'm not going to cut it out because hopefully all of you have an idea on how to cut things out with a die cut machine. So I have already got it cut out, but I thought if I can show you that one as well, you might quite like it, just for something a little bit different. In the right way, Amanda. Oh, it's in the right way. There we go. Hello, Leona. Nice to see you. We missed you in Taunton at the weekend. It was very cold. Right. I wanted something a bit bright this time, Amanda. So I'm just going to quickly put these ones all out of the way. And then I can show you the envelope as well. Kathy, that's a nice idea. Can't wait to tell my husband his picture's been on telly. Is he in your... He must be. Let's have a look. No, oh yeah. He has. He's been on the telly. I know. I never in a million years thought I'd be on telly. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Leona. Never nice. Right, so I'm going to put that one to one side. And quickly go through and show you this other one. Right. So for this one, oh, you got a sneak peek. I wasn't thinking what I was doing then. So this is one piece that I made up ages ago when I was doing a demo. And obviously I always have my demos pre-prepped for TV. So they were extras. And I always keep the extras because they'll get used at some point for something. So that is just... So there's just a piece left over. I keep all my scrap pieces for sneaky little bits like this. In fact, I can even do that, look. So the card sizes you need for this one are an 8x8 card blank, a piece of white cardstock and a piece of black cardstock. Again, 7 3/4 for your black and 7 1/2 for your white. All right. And that will lay over. Now your 7 1/2 for your white, I want you to position all your, in fact it's even nice just with the black, position all your flowers in the middle where you want the image, your cutout image to be on your card, on your finished card. Run it through your die cut machine. You've then got your flowers to do your first card, or part of the flowers to do your first card, and the second card like this. So that's what you'll end up with, something that looks like that. So not too difficult. No fussy cutting, Amanda, that is correct. No fussy cutting. So this is just a spare piece that I had lying around. I know it's going to fit underneath what I needed. So we will take our stencil. And the colours we are using for this are Seedless Preserve, Dusty Concord and Shaded Lilac. In fact, even my colours are turning into the trend at the moment, because I keep seeing people, in fact, one of my demos I did on TV was almost identically coloured by somebody else. So I'll take it, as I said, as a compliment and carry on. I'll do what I do. I don't watch what other people are doing very often. It's just if it springs up on my reels that I'll see the colours and things, but I prefer not to see what other people are doing. Right, so literally I am going to take my colours and I'm going to, you could do it all random if you wanted to. I'm going to do mine in strips. And I'm trying to keep myself in the screen. Hopefully I'm doing a bit better job this time. What bit of tech wizardry will we see next time? I don't know. Look, I've forgotten to do this one tonight. You get me in both. Every time Martin sits down, we've got new pieces to do or new things to show you on here. Look at the state of me, look. Oh, haircut next week, everybody. Thank the Lord. Let's take that off. Oh, go solo with that one. You'll get that one. And then we'll finish the demo and then I'll do a split screen on the 2 cards. Shall we try that? I don't know if I can do it perfectly, but we'll give it a go. So just literally, I might go a little bit further out. Because we've got 3 colours, we're going to blend the 3 colours together. And as I've said this many, many times, blending through stencils is a great way of learning how the colours work, which colours work well together, because if they don't work great together, it doesn't matter because there's a stencil that's going to break those colours up for you. And it teaches you how to use your blending brushes, which is always nice. And if it doesn't work out great, you can always die cut the pieces that you have done. In fact, I might do one of those quickly at the end because we've got that little machine that I can whiz one through and you can see what it looks like in this stencil. Or if I got one, I might even have one that was done a couple of weeks ago with a die cut flower, not this particular stencil. So you're just going to keep building that up till you're happy with your colours and you'll end up with something along those lines. That does look like that's 2 of the same colour on there, but I'll show you up close and you'll see there is a difference in colour. I'm going to go with the one that I did before. See, this is what happens. You end up with the extra pieces just because you can see the colours a little bit differently there. Take your piece that you have cut out. Now, I wouldn't often put those 2 colours together. Or, sorry, those 2 images together because Trio Flowers is quite circular. Obviously, the name tells you squares and rectangles is going to be quite angular. But I quite like the contrast. So I've positioned it where I want it to be. So I'm not going to lift this off. I'm just going to pop some glue underneath. No, I'm not a random girl, Mother. You are very right. I'm going to have to do it this way around because I can't see what I'm doing. I don't do random. So we're going to go all the way around the edge. In fact, I think random is one of the hardest things to do. I wish I could. I go back that way to make sure I've got it where I wanted it to be. So we've picked up all the colours. We have to go. Oh, got the glue in the wrong place. Okay, we're going to go with the other one because I put the glue in the wrong place. Would have probably been easier to glue around the edge of this, wouldn't it? That's what I'll do. I'll glue around my flowers. That way we'll get the glue where we want it to be. Didn't think of that when I was doing the lines, did I? But I suppose that is probably the easiest way to do it. This will be what will be now. That way around, I think. we'll stick that down. And then we're going to layer this on top of this. So this is just a piece of card. Find it difficult to do random. See, Carol's the same, Mum. It's not just me. There's lots of us that suffer that affliction. I'm just going to take this board out of our way, because I don't need it for anything else. Then I'm going to stick those two pieces together. This, you could even do it just on a 6x6 card. How cute would that be? Amanda, I like it random. It's just too random. And that isn't straight. Chuck another little bit more glue on there. I am going to take it out of shot for a moment because I do need to get that on there straight, because it will show really badly if it's not straight. There we go. And Jill has just, he's going to be on telly again now. So Jill's, the whole thing doesn't show up, but it says, never watched live before, like it. I like it. I usually record TV and watch after work. Missed out on loads sold out before I get a look in. Jill, if they ever do sell out on TV, they are usually available on our website, or you can pre-order on our website. Yes, the Fireworks Stencil is back in stock. Oh, good grief, Susan. Somebody else interrupted. Lovely that you have joined us. I hope you've enjoyed the bit you've seen. And if you want to come back and watch the rest, you can do. It will be loaded on our live or on our website tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy your visitor. So, I am going to pop a gem in the middle here. On each flower, and I'm using, it came off with my finger. I'm going to use the same size gem on all of the flowers, so I quite like that look, and it means those bits that we're going to be sticking up won't be sticking up now, because that will hold them down. I've already put the glue on the card. I don't need to put the glue on that as well. And if you wanted to, you could add in some of the leaves, or you could put the leaves, fill the leaves in. But I am going to leave mine as is. Right, so we're going to take our sentiment. Now the sentiment for this came from Social Butterfly. It's down, but it's not stuck down. I'm going to pop this underneath it, but I wanted to see where we were going with it. Have that peek out of there. Should we put one under this opposite end? Can I lift that up? Yes, we can. And yes, we shall. take the small one. So inked it exactly the same way. So I'm going to put that one under there. And we're going to pop a little leaf there as well, just so that we're all tied in. Where's that leaf going to go? There we go. We need to set a little gem in the middle of that one. So let me grab my gems box. It's a huge box and I'm not prepared to show it on screen because it's a random mess. But we'll just find a nice little clear one to go in the middle there, hopefully. Is that clear or is that silver? That's silver. Oh, there's never a clear one when you need there to be. We'll go there, and we're nearly there, I promise you I'm nearly there. There's a tiny little one. Pop a little bit of glue here. We try and come up with something a bit different. Oh look, both Dawn and Jill both say, love that cutout idea, gonna try that. And it's great because then you don't even have to throw away the pieces that you've made 2 cards out of 1 piece, so to speak. Or actually you've probably made 6 cards, 4, 5, 6 cards out of the same piece. Because if you did this design and cut that out to make your flowers for this design, Bob's your uncle. You've got, what, 3 versions of this for 1 version of that. Now I said I was going to try and do a split screen on this. Let's try it. So we've got this one, and then this one will have to be me doing that. So there are 2 cards that we have made today. All using trio of flowers. So let me take me off. No, that's so low. Oh, good grief, all this tech. And then come here and go 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, can't do it. It's not letting me do what I wanted to do. So, yes. That's the 2 cards, both made with trio of flowers, which if I do that, I'll do that. There we go. That's me. So yeah, they were both made with a trio of flowers, and hopefully you liked those ideas. So what do I need to tell you quickly, because I've been waffling on for far too long tonight. First of all, what have we got to tell you? So this weekend we are in, let me move that, we're in the Excalibur Papercraft Show at the National Motorcycle Museum in Coventry, Birmingham, NEC area. So if you're around, we would love to see you there. That's on Saturday the 8th. Then on Sunday the 16th, we are up north at the York Racecourse. I'm going to tip my glasses so I don't have to hold my head up. We're in York for the Stamporama in the York Racecourse. The 23rd of February is the 20th of February is our next Facebook and YouTube Live, where we will be showing you our next new launch. And that is 5 new stamps and 4 new stencils. So hopefully that will be great. Then we're on TV on the 23rd, Sunday the 23rd at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m, where we will again be showing you all the fabulous new designs from that we're releasing and all the samples from the design team. And then last but not least for the coming month, can you believe, and this will bring us to the end of February, the 20th of February and the 1st of March, we are at Sandown Racecourse, which has been taken over by a company called ICHF. It used to be run by Steph Wakeman, but it is now run by ICHF, who do the Birmingham show. They do Farnborough, they do the Glasgow show, so they do lots of big shows. So hopefully that will be as fabulous as ever. I don't think there's been a huge amount of promotion about it. So if you know anybody that would normally go along to what was Crafting Live, then yes, it is still on. It is the 28th of February and 1st of March, and we would love to see everybody there. I am going to flick that round so that you can see the 2 cards we made again. And the list of products, etc., will all be on our website, if not tonight, tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, everybody. All I'm going to say is hopefully you enjoyed what you watched tonight, and if you can like and share our posts, etc., on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whichever ones you want, we would really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. So have a lovely evening. We will hopefully see some of you at the Motorcycle Museum this coming weekend, and the rest of you, we will be Facebook Live. Oh, and don't forget, pre-order is available on our website for the balloons die only. The flowers are almost all sold out anyway. And is it this way? No, it's this way. Don't forget, you can scan that QR code there, and it will take you to the website. Have a lovely evening, everybody. We will see you, if not before, on Facebook Live on the 20th with our new release.